Good afternoon. Welcome to June 20th, 2023 Board of Works and Safety. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Becky Gibson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Buchanan. Let's pray.
Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to declare, Lord, wisdom from heaven on this board today. I pray, Lord, your blessings upon them. Thank you for their faithfulness, Lord. I ask, Lord, that you would bless this agenda today. Give them the wisdom they need to make the correct decisions. And thank you for blessing our community. In the mighty name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to welcome everyone. Remind you to turn your cell phone ringers off. We'll begin with roll call.
Brian Dobb.
Present.
Becky Gibson.
Here.
Diana Phillips. Present. Jim Barron.
Okay, we have everyone has the minutes from the June 5th regular meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve minutes. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move on down to new business. You can do A and B together, since you want to do them separate.
Go ahead and do them separate.
Okay, we have the award of the Community Crossing Resurfacing Project to Dave O'Mara Contractors for $524,790.40 as the low bidder. I have a motion to approve the Dave O'Mara contract.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item B, we have the award of the Community Crossing Modified Asphalt Emulsion Micro Surface Project. That's a lot to say in one word. For $293,080.30. So I have a motion to approve.
I got a question on that one, if you don't mind.
Yep, with Pavement Solutions.
How is this identical, the costing on this? Is this a typo on this, or is this, because the bid and the expected bid are exactly right down to the penny?
I can answer that.
Okay.
I screwed up.
Oh, okay. Well, honest answer.
Honestly, yeah. And then I caught it, so I sent out, there's a new letter in the package.
Oh, I was reading the minutes, so I didn't look at the letter.
So I have, yes. I caught it later.
Was it was it lower than what the
So
estimate
the second
was?
Yes.
page, shows the backside shows the engineer's estimates.
Got it.
Engineer was $310,000, bid came in $280,000.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
And the motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Get busy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item C, Nadine Baker, is she out here? Is she anyone out there? Well, then maybe she'll show up. Tracy Burns, you can come on up. With the Whitewater Valley Art Association.
Hello.
Hello?
I gave everyone some magazines. We are hosting the Indiana Artisans at the gallery on July 14th. And we have a new exhibit every month. This is kind of a big deal for our gallery in Connersville. I am an Indiana artisan. I made Fayette County number 56 in the counties out of 92. We're up to, I think, 57 now. I'm working hard to get more people from Fayette County to become Indiana artisans. But we are located in French Lick and Carmel as the main galleries. So there's 220. Their only other gallery that they've been to since COVID or before was Columbus, Indiana. So I'm hoping that this will bring a lot of people to Connersville. And so what I was wondering is if we need to, would it be possible to shut down 5th and 4th in between, and maybe 4th to the alley, just in case we need it for artisans to sit outside or entertainment to be outside. We also would like to see if maybe opening up the alley to an artisan alley for demonstrations there north of the Johns Brothers.
So you wanted to shut down Central Avenue from 4th to 5th Street?
Yes.
On that day?
If needed.
Okay. The alley, I'll have to hold off on it to get back with you on that one.
Okay.
There might be some other issues with that right now.
Okay.
So we just need permission from now to shut down from 4th to 5th if needed on July 14th. What's the times you'd want to shut that down?
Between, let's see, normally it's 6 to 8 is our openings, but I don't think we need to do 5:30, I don't know. What you think?
So 5:30 to 8.
Yes, possible. And we'll possibly be using the canal house. So we're thinking, we'll try and have the museum open as well as the canal house, so we have overflow for people to go through and to help show our history as well.
Well, we can have the barricades there, and then we just call dispatch and get an officer to always help on one end. That makes it easier to shut the road down, then we can put the barricades up, then we're done, just pull the barricades off, and we can pick them up.
Okay.
We can coordinate all that with Brad.
Okay.
You were also asking too to close the alley from the middle of Third Street between Third and Fourth, right?
Yeah, that way it's,
She
Not
wanted-
the alley right now.
No, she
The
wants to
street.
close between Third and Fourth, where the alley is, across from where the jail is. You're wanting to close that, you said, right?
well, if,
For overflow or music or whatever?
if we need, because we'll be using the parking lot at the canal house.
Okay.
We can have some music there. We've already got permission to do that. So I didn't know, we don't have too much traffic once this and Fourth is closed. We don't have too much going through there anyway, so that might not be a problem.
Yeah,
Would you
from
need-
5:30 to 8, there's nothing happening there.
Would you need Fourth Street closed as well?
Maybe just to get from the gallery to the parking lot might be safer.
I think it'd be safer and easier to just close it off at Eastern. Fifth
Or
Street,
not Eastern,
From the alley.
up from the alley, just from the alley.
up from the alley up.
That's what we always shut
Okay.
at the
Yeah,
alley.
where the canal house is, that way they can park on their street by their homes
Okay.
and everything.
I see.
So, because we have at least, I think, 4 or 5 different of these artisans are going to come and demonstrate. Abbott's Candy is a artisan plus some other chocolatiers, so they're going to take care of our reception too. So there will be a winery. We'll have a wine tasting as well. So we're going to try and have as many of the foods available so that people can see what we have. And they'll be up through first week of August. So,
Okay, so we need a motion to shut down Central Avenue from 4th to 5th Street and 4th Street to the Canal House. Does that make sense? Does that sound right? Thank you.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Good luck. Let me get my pages flipped here, I'm behind. We have approval of the quotes for downtown string lights. We have the poles being made. We had some issues with trying to get the string lights from when we last priced it, but we found a company that works. I found it actually a little bit cheaper, but they were a smaller gauge wire, and I didn't want to do that. So this is a better gauge wire. They came with a kit with the lights and everything. We're gonna put aircraft cable. It's a coated aircraft cable, so we can run the strings on. I'm more comfortable with this wire. And this was the best price we could find as a kit. It was the only one we could find as a kit. But since the amount was higher, we wanted to bring it to you. There's a total cost on here, I lost it, $9,203.40. And the cable was $1,395.
You said it
And
was
the-
coated or black galvanized?
It's a coated aircraft, you bought the cable?
Yes.
It's a aluminum, I think it's aluminum, I don't remember now, but it's got a black coating on it. And so it's weatherproof better and a lot better.
Did by chance you put the turnbuckles and clamps and thimbles and everything else you need on it?
Chase is making everything.
Chases? Okay.
So I want everything so it's black, it matches.
Right.
It drove me crazy when we had those black street lights and had aluminum looking cable clamps on it. I was like, I'm weird about things having to match. It drives me crazy. But we just want to make everything so it matches, it looks nice. The string light's going to create a beautiful atmosphere downtown. We just want to be able to, since it was a larger amount, we want to make sure we brought it to you guys to approve. We have the money budgeted for it. The original, we budgeted $125,000 for the entire project last year. And then prices went crazy, so we went back and revamped, redid it all. We still have landscaping that's got to come in here, so I wanted to make sure that where all this came in before we do our landscaping. We're working on some different ideas for the landscaping. But we're just kind of doing it a piece at a time.
Is that concrete accurate, 115 a yard?
No, I already changed, that's old, that needs to be changed. I got the
So you're
updated version.
probably more towards the 112, 113?
112. We're still under budget, but. No, the price said it was 3,000 more. Yeah, so 112, around 110, 112,000.
I'll make a motion, we approve the mayor's request.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. I'm excited to see this done. That's one thing I've been waiting to see for a long time.
We've seen it in Lebanon and some other, it's really, really nice.
I'm excited. Okay, move on down to department matters. Director Coulter.
Hello.
Okay, we got, first, got a couple of quotes for roofing on the service building at 2300 Ohio. It's got a problematic roof that needs work from time to time. And there's a couple of quotes to get it repaired. Shumels ended up being the cheaper price on it.
So that's Shumels with the cheapest, right?
Uh-huh.
I'll make a motion, we approve the quote
Second.
from Shumels.
And a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
Next thing is, one to get approval. You know, I come every year. We've been trying to replace 500 meters each year to get all of our meters up to fairly new. We're gonna change something a little bit. These meters are getting a little harder to get a hold of. They're 6 months out, so if we buy them all at once, it makes it that much more difficult. So we were just gonna buy 42 meters a month, which would be 500 a year, and then we'll just be purchasing meters every month going forward until we get these things replaced.
Did you have documentation on that?
I'm sorry if you didn't get it.
Have the meters changed much, Brad, or are they still
No,
pretty much the same?
we a couple years ago switched to the M25s from Badger. You know, once you commit to a meter system, you're
Right.
committed, so we just,
Okay.
some of the meters we have, some of the oldest ones we have are from 2010 or something like that, so we have various age meters, and we're just trying to get all of them up to where they're within 7, 8 years old.
We lock that price in for 12
That's for a
months?
year, yeah. So all of that 500 that we buy over the next, we won't get any for 6 months, and then 6 months from now through 18 months from now, we'll be getting 42 each month.
But they're not gonna jack the price up? Good.
We're committed to buy them, and they're committed to that price.
Make a motion to accept Brad's request.
Second.
And a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
The next thing, this is a work change directive. It's sort of similar to a change order, but it's a small amount. Some of these things kind of go into a folder and they reconcile them all at once. But because I probably won't be here when this thing reconciles, I'm going to bring each one of these directives to you so that you've heard of them before when they all come up in a sort of a pile at the end. Sometimes we have, as you can see, sometimes we have deductions because something gets cut out, sometimes something gets added. This one is a net added cost $3,200. So I don't know that you need to approve it necessarily, but I just kind of want to get some of these on the record for you going forward, however you want to handle it.
How you guys want to see them?
Go ahead and approve it.
That's what I think too, because I'd hate to get to the point where they knock the ball down, and then we say, well,
Right.
we're not
That's
going
fine
to
with
pay
me.
this
That's
section.
what I like.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
The last thing is, I talked to you maybe a month ago about that we were going to apply to IFA for a $20,000 grant to help us, to allow Commonwealth to help us compile information for our lead inventory that we're doing on our services and our water laterals and things. So we were funded in that for $20,000, so I just kind of wanted to let you know that we did get that, and they'll be getting started. Mike's already been doing a lot of work compiling, so this will just be helpful in addition to what he's already been doing, so.
Good news.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Chief Bellows out there? I know I saw him.
Good afternoon. So my first item of business is asking permission to apply for our bulletproof vest. It's a matching grant from the Department of Justice, Patrick Leahy bulletproof vest. We do that every year, and it's a 50-50 match. We average about five a year. So we're just asking permission to apply for that.
What's the total cost for the money?
The total cost, it depends on how many officers, but it roughly
Per
around.
vest?
Huh?
Per vest. What are you asking for?
About 1,000 a vest.
So $5,000?
Yeah. It's a matching.
Motion to approve the chief's request.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
So actually, it'd be $2,500.
Be 25.
It's 50.
5,000.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir.
I guess I'll just stay in that.
Oh, I got, actually, I got one more added. Have a seat in the front row.
Scott said sit down.
I'm wondering why you're just standing there. Hold on, Chief Jones.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I've left a letter in front of everyone, sorry it didn't make it into the packets. Basically, I'm requesting permission to apply for the Fayette Community Foundation's mini grant to purchase a training dummy or training mannequin that we would use for just about every training that we do. We have some training coming up that it would be very beneficial to use that aside of using live persons. It's a little more safe, plus it will give us the opportunity to do a little bit more training, and then, keeps people from getting hurt. So with your permission, I'd like to apply for that grant to purchase that dummy. Approximate cost is $1,800.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Yeah, Chief Bellows, you're back.
Hey, we won't mention that mannequin is Rescue Randy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he was gonna say Chad, so I moved up in his eyes.
All right, so everybody got a copy of our monthly report. Overtime is still higher than I like it. Last month, we were still down one officer. We do have him hired, as you all know, but we are waiting on his perf to come back, and then 40-hour pre-basic before we can put him on the road. So we are one man down, and we do have one workman comp officer who has not been released yet to come back to work. So any questions about the monthly there? Gallons of fuel is a little over 2,000 gallons. And moving on to our incident reports. We are still staying on our traffic accidents, pretty heavy. Or our traffic accidents are up, so we've got 35 total. And our traffic stops are still high. We're 337 traffic stops, so we're staying pretty active still. Total of 1,121 incidents for the month of May. Training, our K-9 division, Lieutenant Barry had 11 hours of training and 1 demo. Officer Watson, 14 hours of training, 2 demos. Sergeant Ammerman had 8 hours of training and 1 demo. Our department training was 166 hours, and the majority of that last month was our firearms training. So the majority of that is from firearms. On our drug count for May, for pills, we took a total of 41 pills. That's including our patrol and also our drug task force. Needles, total of 137 needles. Paraphernalia, we have a total of 46. That includes pipes, straws, or whatever we take off the streets other than needles. Marijuana, 72 grams. Fentanyl is 5 grams. And meth is 43 grams. Any questions on our training or any of the stats that I just read off? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Nick out there. Is Nick out there? Director Coker, you done?
Hello, monthly report for utilities in May. Revenue disbursements. Still running a month behind, but everything seems to be going well with that. Overtime, a little higher last month, basically due to we've been putting meters in after hours. It's hard to do it during the day with everything else that needs to be done. We put in 189 new meters last month, and we are working on, should have a little bit more this month to put in. So that's where most of the overtime coming from. Out of 9,866, 5,000 of that was meter installation. Attached is the reports for the water and sewer plants, miscellaneous. Members of our office staff attended the reality store at the middle school. Jessica Fall and myself attended the WTH annual conference, which is our GIS mapping in May. She helps me with my mapping when I can't get to it. We also sent Bill Dunsel and Scott Hood to Akron for Alliance training for their CEUs, for their certifications. I also, it was a month of education, it looks like, that I attended the MS4 annual conference in Noblesville May 16th. We also installed 620 new water main, 8-inch, up at Opportunity Drive in May. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
We have, I always get all disorganized here. You might have noticed that they're grinding the trees over on Western Avenue today. So the biggest part of all the invasive Bradford pears are now gone. Now the last of them are being ground probably the next day or two. I wanted to talk to you a minute about the trestle. That's kind of been a hot topic again. I don't know exactly what caused it, probably the heat getting on the railroads a little bit with all their problems here lately, but we finally got somebody from CSX to reach out, and you might have noticed that they installed, I meant to get a picture, I forgot. They installed a couple of signs on the bridge and we helped install those. And then I talked to a guy that lives, I think, in Liberty from CSX, and he got me in touch with the CSX bridge supervisor. So I had a nice conversation with him on the phone, and he's going to be coming over soon to talk. And the most promising part of it was, I think, that everything's on the table from their end as far as what we might do in the future to hopefully reduce the number of bridge hits. I don't know if anybody's noticed. I thought things were improving a little bit, but here we are. And it seems like now it's mostly box trucks, and I don't know what that's all about, but there's no rhyme or reason to it. So think the mayor and I are gonna talk to our state representative. CSX is probably gonna be a partner with us to go to NDOT. Maybe we can get them to understand how important moving the truck route would be. Maybe they'll help us fund it. If not, we're gonna look at other alternatives. Painting the bridge, I think, is a possibility. I don't know that that helps, but it can't hurt anything. So I just kind of wanted to keep you in the loop. I thought that was a positive thing. We now have them also understanding we need to try to do something about it. So hopefully it turns into something that might improve the situation. We talked about before, sort of having a community meeting about it, just to talk about it, because we've looked at doing a lot of things. One of the things that I did was sort of price lowering the road. You know, everybody's got 14 answers of what we should do. And most of them we have at least vetted the ideas just to see if they were possible. And one idea that sort of I keep coming back to is we could lower the road, but we would have to put a lift station there to pump all the water out of it that would accumulate at times. And then the bridge, the railroad would be concerned about, you know, undermining the bridge, the stabilization of it, so that, you know, that $1 million rough estimate could turn into something way bigger. But I at least want people to know that we're not just sitting around not at least trying to think about it and work on it. And we really do want to solve the problem. So anybody has any of you in particular have any ideas or thoughts about it, be sure and get with us. And we'll be working on this going forward. I wanted to tell you also the street department, I wanted to commend Mel again. She's just been doing such a good job this year. I don't know if you've noticed, but the downtown just looks perfect almost. And everybody over there's been working hard to keep the downtown and other areas. And I wanted to stress, although I talk about how nice the downtown looks, we are in East Connersville and lots of other places too, sweeping and doing all kinds of pickup and trash cleanup and things all the time. And anybody that has a suggestion about an area that they think we've missed, be sure and call me and check in, because sometimes we do miss things, and I'm always willing to listen to try to work with people to get their areas cleaned up and worked on too. So, any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Richard Falls.
Hello.
Hello.
For the month of May, we had 11 hours, 39 seconds of, sorry, 11 hours, 39 minutes of meetings. I don't know how many seconds. Original program, 15 hours and 40 minutes. We are back in production on TV3 News Journal with our new host now, Alicia Burke. So we're working hard to get that up and running because people seem to really enjoy that. Also, this week, just a quick announcement, we're running a interesting episode on TV3 Volt, which airs on cable every morning at 8 a.m. And of course, we've got it on our YouTube channel as well. It's This is Connersville, found an old video from the 1980s. So it's kind of a flashback video, so we're airing that so people can reminisce. So it's kind of interesting. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Chief Jones. I'm sorry, I got another one. Chief Harden, sorry. Skipped over that one. Apologize.
Finally working my way back up the list. All the way back down. All right, everybody should have a copy of my report. A total of 316 calls for the month of May. Seems like May was forever ago though, so time flies or going slow or something, I'm not sure. But still have, so that puts our calls for service at 1580 for the year so far. Still have one EMT off on workman's comp. Fuel usage is there. So our historical average, if you go back from the beginning, our average calls for May is 327 and we had 316, so we're right in there. Special event coverage, Party in the Bell, Demolition Derby. We did a 16-hour called an AMLS, which is Advanced Medical Life Support course at the end of May. Had Stat Fight from Rushville come over and teach that for us. It's a real good assessment class. It kind of challenges the way you think about what you're finding. So try to do that every few years. And then there's a trauma version that we're going to do this fall, which we've done before, but everyone seems to like these two particular classes, so we try to do those every so often. You see the information there about a joint training. It's going to come up in July. The one thing that was just kind of out of the ordinary was, and I got to give a big shout out to Rosemary and Chris from Wilson Lawson Meyer and Heather from Ambulance Billing. For the first time ever, Medicare did what they called a Medicare cost study. And we were selected for 2022, report in 2023. Basically, all your expenses, all your calls, all your revenue, everything is getting reported. Basically, they're wanting to see how much does it, they don't know, how much does it take to run an ambulance service. So I'm hoping that when all this is tabulated over the next few years, that they'll say, oh, well, we need to raise the Medicare rates. Fingers crossed. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. Yeah. But I think that is the intent of it. But it was submitted on time. There was a lot of information that I did not know, and I had to reach out. And I say Rosemary and Chris from Wilson Lawson Myers. It was made simplified by the fact that we did not have any ambulance boats. There were several pages on ambulance boats. Never even seen an ambulance boat, but we don't have one, so that was part I got to skip. There's a couple of things coming up in July. There was a company called Southeast Trans. Southeast Trans was a middleman intermediary that arranged non-emergent trips, ambulance trips. It was always kind of a troubled program. This is on the Medicaid side of the state. The state finally cut their contract. So they're cutting out the middleman. They're going back to doing it themselves, which is a very good thing. Southeast Trans required a lot of information, be updated, and they did not pay. I think the 1 year, I think they paid us $700. I don't know how many hours I spent keeping up with their rules and such. So I was glad to see that go by the wayside. Also, July 1st, probably not a coincidence, but the new Medicaid rates for the state of Indiana go into effect July 1st as well. So some of the base rates are increasing by either there's one that's about 2 to 3 times, 3.5 times, so what I was paying before. So really hoping that can make a difference. Does anybody have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Chief Jones. Actually, I saw him.
I think
I saw you leave on your phone after I said that. He might be gone.
Hello again.
Hello.
All right, monthly report for the Connersville Fire Department for May. Start with the overtime. Total overtime was $4,620.57. The FLSA portion of that is $1,614.33, and then the remainder was for manpower shortages. Any question over the overtime? All right, move on down to fuel usage. We used 430 gallons of fuel for May for a total of $1,619.89. Moving on down to the incidents for May. We had a total incident count of 156. 36 of those were fire-related incidents, 109 were EMS-related, and we had 11 auto accidents. Moving on to training hours. We have 70.5 hours, instructed hours of training for the month of May. 60 of those were fire training, 10.5 hours was EMS training. You can see as the weather gets nicer, the guys prefer to get out and do some fire training. We do a lot more EMS training during the cool months. Moving on to inspections, did a total of 24 inspections for the month of May. A few of those were re-inspections, and I had 21.5 hours of fire investigation. Also, for those of you that didn't know, that we posted on our Facebook page, but we did receive our grant that we applied for last year for the SCBA's. We were under the impression they were done awarding, and all of a sudden, Jaleesa got an email that said that We've gotten $185,000, or $185,669.65 to go towards that purchase, so we're really happy, and I would like to thank Jolisa. Jolisa does a great job.
She sure does.
Yeah, she does a wonderful job, so she gets a lot of credit for that. I fill in some blanks and some numbers and things, but she does really good, so we're glad to get that. Every little bit helps.
Absolutely.
That's all I have. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Going down to old business. Anyone have any old business? Miscellaneous business?
Yes, I do. I would like to ask for approval to invest the pension funds. I have police and fire monies available to invest. I think I did not give you a copy of it. I would like to invest it so it can make some interest. And it'll go in through Trust Indiana.
Do the unions need to approve that?
I've already got the pension board's approval.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Any other miscellaneous business? Claims.
Claims for June 20th, the city is $414,920.11. Payroll, $545,362.69. Utilities, $315,483.11.
I move to approve the claims.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, move on down to public forum. Anybody from the public? Anybody out there? Not, I'll move for a motion for adjournment.
Moved.
Motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Have a good evening.